Hey, thanks for joining in today. We got a little treat. We're testing out the Gucci 223 bullet. Shooting bullets from Patriot Valley Arms, Alco, and 2 from Hornady. I have the Hornady A-tip and the ELDM. The A-tip's 90 grain, the ELDM is 88 grain. This Alco is 77 grains, and this Patriot Valley Arms is 75. Patriot Valley Arms is a full copper bullet turned on a lathe. Very sleek, very cool looking. The Alco bullet is also a copper bullet turned on a lathe, but also has a CNC machined aluminum tip. Then the Hornady A-tip, it's the copper bullet, lead core with the aluminum tip on it, and the ELDM is, copper, lead, and their ballistic tip on it. A lot of these big bullets you cannot shoot in your 223, 5.56 AR/rifle setup. These Patriot Valley Arms were made for the TAC competition and will not work in a gas gun. The cartridge I'm shooting today is the 22 DPC. It was developed by Kenny I with Desert Precision Gunworks out in Arizona. I'm shooting his setup today. These are on pre-sale on his site. They're fucking awesome, y'all. It is a 6-arc neck down. I believe it has a 35-degree shoulder on it. He developed this whole chambering and whatnot, and I tell you, this thing's badass. Some of the shooting I do today, especially at distance and repeating, I cannot do with the 6-arc. This thing blows it out of the water. It's just night and day. I believe I was watching one of his videos. He says it has the same characteristics as a 6 Creedmoor, more or less. The nice thing about 22 bullets, especially when you get into doing a lot of shooting, is they're cheap. You can find a lot of different options. A lot of different options work well. I'll have to come back and mess with seating depth and different powders. We got a lot of powder to test out on this, so don't take anything that you see today as this is indicative of that bullet or that charge or this gun. This is all new territory. Nothing exists like this other than the rounds that Kenny tested and posted on his website. So we're just fooling around today. Don't try this at home, kids.
Because I got that thing that go ra-ta-ta-ta.
This one is the Alco 75 grain bullet. All these bullets are pretty badass. This Alco bullet is a 75 grain copper bullet turned on a lathe, and this aluminum tip is CNC machined. It has a rebated boat tail. The next one I have is a Patriot Valley Arms. This is a 77 grain copper solid. This was hand turned on a lathe as well. The next we have, as most people are familiar with, is this Hornady A-tip. It's a 90 grain. It's the longest of the 4. And this isn't necessarily a Gucci bullet, but it is an odd one. This is an 88 grain ELDM, Hornady ELDM bullet. I was loading and those were sitting there staring at me. So I figured, what the hey, let's throw it in the mix, see how it shoots and how it compares to these others. This is what I consider like your average consumer high-end bullet. This is what I would consider your consumer high-end bullet. And again, these are kind of niche boutique type bullets. Poke your finger with it, it'll draw blood. That thing is like pinpoint sharp. Same with this Patriot Valley Arms. This is the Patriot Valley Arms 77 grain Seneca Match. This is developed for 223 TAC competitions. I have some 90 grain Alco bullets coming. They were not here yet, so I have some 90 grain Alcos coming. You'll have to tune back in for that next episode. That's our lineup. That's what we're shooting today. And you're familiar with those Hornady A-tips. They come in a box with plastic carton, like egg carton. And then there's a little Crown Royal bag. You're supposed to put your bullets in and shake them around and get the finish off of them or whatever. I don't know. Whatever, Hornady. Those Patriot Valley Arms bullets came in a plastic bag in a box. Nothing special. However, these Alco, and my apology on that, these Alcos are 77 grain rebated bolt tails. I thought they were 75. Those Alcos are 77 grain. They come in this little pill bottle. Patriot pills. Alco bullets. I love it. Nice work. Refill as needed. All the Hornady A-tips are loaded with CFE 223. The Alcos and the Patriot Valley Arms, those are loaded with 27 grains of tack. I just went with that because I was shooting it the other day. It seemed to work, so that's what we went with. We're going to start with the Hornady A-tips. I have some burgers that I've loaded up. We need to get it sighted in. I gotta zero out this scope. So we'll get the lab radar warmed up and the scope zeroed out, and then we'll move to the Alcos and then the Patriot Valley Arms. And it's the time of year for these damn things. Sweat bees and these little yellow bees, I call them corn bees. So if you see them buzzing around the camera or buzzing on my face or on the gun, that's what's going on. This time of year you can't avoid them. They're annoying. Summer comes around, you get these corn bees.
Supposed to be, man. You gonna tell me where corn pop at?
Then these damn sweat bees everywhere.
And if you don't vote for me, you're not black.
Another cool thing I want to show you is this push button safety. There's my bad lever. You just flick that, it drops your bolt. Made by Elftman Tactical or whatever it is. Better known for their triggers, but they have this push button safety for AR-15. Streamlining this thing for competition, y'all. We're gonna start off with these 90 grain A-tips from Hornady. I'm gonna shoot the 28 grains CFE 223. All these bullets you gotta load to the magazine. To the jam with this bullet was 2.37. Mag length for the A-tips. And I'm telling you, I got everything a cunt hair outside of that lip. 2.27. On the Patriot Valley Arms, to the jam was 2.35 for the magazine. It's 2.26 for the Alcos. These are a fatter bullet or stubbier bullet. To the jam was 2.29. For the mag is 2.22. On the ELDMs, I did not get what jam was, but for the magazine it's 2.25. So there's your loading length on these, how I'm shooting them today. None of these are tweaked at all. We're just going to shoot for groups, see how these turn out. I have different powder charges for the A-tips. I have 2 different powder charges for the Alcos and 1 powder charge of 27 grains of tack for the 75 grain Patriot Valley Arms solid copper. So let's go here, let's see what kind of velocities we get. This is with 28 grains A-tip. High right, 28.48, 28.33, 28.09, 28.27. Group is all over the place. 27 grains CFE 223 Hornady A-tips. Flick of the finger, the bolt drops, baby. Just left a target dot 27.53. On the dot 27.52. 27.43. Let's go down and take a look at this before I stick too many holes on there. All right, there's the A-tips. There's my first shot. It started coming down 27 grains. That's my first shot. Not a very good group on that. All right, so the group down there wasn't too impressive. Yeah, this is all experimental anyway. Let's shoot 27.5 grain. I'm going to shoot the target dot right underneath the one I was shooting. See what this 27.5 does. 12 o'clock on the dot. 7 o'clock off the dot below it. 27.88 on the feet per second. 28.08 on the feet per second. 28.02. 3 o'clock on the dot. Let's move on to these Alco bullets. These little bad boys, 77 grainers. Fucking bees. I'm gonna start with 27 grain load of ram shot tack. right above it, 2878. 3 o'clock on the dot, 2880. 2926. 12 o'clock on the dot, 2893. 2915. ES48, SD21. Average 28.99 on that load. Brass and primers look good. It's funny, I got the Starline brass. Starline beat Hornady to the punch, getting 6 arc brass out. Ding dongs. Let's move on to these 75 grain Patriot Valley arms. These are almost as long as those A-tips. May shoot the best out of all of them, we'll see. All right. There are those first 2 rounds of the A-tips. There is the last. Over here are the Alcos. I had 1 zinger up here. Weird. Maybe that's 2. That's 2 in 1 hole. They did group up though a little bit. And here are those Patriot Valley arms. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Terrible group. What I'm going to shoot next is I'm going to shoot this targ dot. These Hornady ELDM 88 grain bullets. I was wrong on that. This Patriot Valley arm shot the worst. We're going to shoot these Hornady, see how they turn out. Bullseye. Watch these things group the best out of all of them. That'd be pretty awesome because you can get a lot of them for cheap. Targ dot, 4 o'clock. First one was targ dot, 12 o'clock. 28:30 on the second shot there. 7 o'clock bullseye. So far these are grouping the best. 28:28. Targ dot, 12 o'clock. Next to the other 12 o'clocker. 28:36. Nice. Bullseye, 28:19. And that, right there, is the best group of the day. Best numbers of the day too. ES17, SD 5.9. Average velocity 28.28. Because they're sitting right here and I got the lab radar out. 28 grain CFE 223. These are the Berger 85.5 grain. 2818. 2832. I'm a bit shocked to be honest with you. That Hornady shot the best. And there you go. There's the Hornady ELDM 5-shot group. Right there is the Berger 85.5 grain 5-shot group. Alco, Patriot Valley Arms, Hornady A-tips. So there you go. There's the Gucci 22s right there, baby. 22 DPC. Those Alcos show some promise. Again, I have some 90 grain Alcos on the way. Be sure to tune back in for that. Let's hop back out at distance and smack some steel, baby. So I have a camera downrange on the targets. Instead of putting it back here like I did the other day, try to get some trace, which didn't happen. I put it out there a little closer to the target. Hopefully I don't shoot it. Be really bad. Got a pretty good wind, 2 to 3 o'clock. I'm guessing probably about 7 miles an hour. Still got a bug in my earmuff. See how far we are? 457. Be a good little test for this bullet. We'll dial 2 on it. Here we go. Oh yeah. We'll hold right edge of the plate. First shot, smack, baby. Let's see how quickly I can rack these off. run the plate rack, see how we do on that. See if we hit Mr. Coyote down there too. The sun is right in my eyes. Oh, that's a lot better. I'm gonna try to run these last 4 burgers fast on that farthest plate. We'll hold 4 o'clock. Smacked it. We'll go for the little plate on the plate rack. Dead center, smacked it. Shoot the ass of the coyote. Smacked it. Oh, what else? Go to the far plate. We'll hold 4 o'clock on it too. Smacked it. So let's shoot the coyote in the ass. Bam. Center plate on the little guy. Bam. Man, I tell you, yo, this thing's the shit. Can't speak today. And here's the plate out at 457. I'll have to go back through this footage. I don't know what I was hitting and missing, but I wanted to cut loose on this thing at speed, so I couldn't hear it pinging or not. So we'll have to see how it did when I review this. But that was all fresh paint before I started this. The nice thing about 22 bullets is you can find all kinds of different kinds of them, different weights, different manufacturers, and they're pretty cheap. These things are not cheap. These are about 60 cents a shot. Take it for what it's worth. That's why they're the Gucci bullets, baby. Please like, subscribe, share. I'm out here in the heat and the bees. I appreciate it. Thanks for tuning in. Stay safe, stay free. Till next time.